Well, I've come out to somewhere I like to be, and as you can see, it's dark o'clock. I don't know if you'll be able to see the moon. I do have some moonlight. Ain't much of a moon. It was a good bright moon the other day. A little bit of cloud up there. Got my little light with me. Right, what I need to do is get this fire going so that I can actually see what I'm doing. I'll do some more in a moment. So it's almost dark o'clock, so I'm fairly certain you guys won't be able to see a great deal. I will try and stay out the light if I can. Let's see if we can get a fire going here. Almost. Maybe. There we go. Right, should be able to see something here soon. And because it is pitch black o'clock, always make sure that you're putting everything away as you're doing it. Doing things a little different today. Because there's already some burnt wood in here. What I've done is I've put my fire base at an angle. I've lit the fire underneath it. I can tell you, with this nice dry wood that I have here, it doesn't take long for things to get going. This stuff splinters pretty good. I don't have to worry about it too much. But it is at a bit of an angle, so see, this stuff splinters pretty good. I don't know how much of this you'll be able to see on the video because it's actually pitch black. But if I can get this fire going, you'll be able to see a lot more. I do have my good Mora with me today. I don't like swinging this around in the dark because this thing is razor sharp. So we will take that as a getting the fire going. Doesn't take much. Let me move that up over there. I brought my little light with me today. Oh, I need to take that in and get that charged up. There we go. That's a better light. That's more a day's light. I do have a decent chunk of wood with me for later. For now, I'll just split up some of this garbage. Splitting wood in the dark is a whole different process. Because you can't just wildly swing an axe because you can't see what you're cutting. I think it's safe to say that the fire is underway. There we go. As I've said in many of my other videos, if you can't light a fire with cotton balls and a ferro rod, you should probably give up. That is the easiest way I've ever found to light a fire, it really is. Yeah. Alright, also got some decent heat in here. I'm going to make some breakfast. Let's move that out of the way. Put that where I know where it is. There we go. Don't fall over. I have a whole bunch of these like 2x4 offcuts, and this stuff's reasonable wood. It's you couldn't use it for construction. It's not construction wood, that's for certain. It's perfect for what I use it for. The problem is we're having decent sized logs. Is you need a decent sized fire to get them burning. I mean, this log here, right? If I want to get this log burning, I need some decent heat. So I will build up some heat in there. Once I've done that, I'll get back to you. Good way to start the day, though. Oh. We got some much colder weather coming. So I'm out here today because next few days we got snow coming. I put my snow tyres on, got my winter tyres on, so that's good. Yeah. A lot of people will be panicking over this week. Oh my god, it's going to snow, I need to put my winter tyres on. So yeah, that's something they should have done the other week. Right, I will let this get going. I'm going to put my feet up right there. I did remember to bring my tea today, so that is good. So we will start the day like that and do some more in a bit. Well, I can tell you, that fire's already putting off some decent heat. That's a good thing with this kind of wood. It's garbage wood. It's not very good for anything, but it burns hot and fast. So it's good for getting a fire going. No good for a long-term fire, that's for sure. It's definitely good to get a fire going. Oh, that feels nice. Oh yeah, that's good. Now, around here there's many things that you need for winter. I always keep some wood in the back of the car, and my axe, my trusty axe, is usually in the back of the car as well. There's also one of these little booster pack things. This thing is invaluable. It's got a little light in it, but it's got a compressor in it and stuff as well. Because you break down on the roads around here in the middle of winter, that can be very dangerous. Look how quick that wood burns through though, but it does create a really good bed of embers in there, which is exactly what you want. You want a really good bed of embers. That way it's really good for cooking later. It is very nice for warming your feet up. That I can tell you. Don't get much better than that. Yeah, I can actually feel that heat through there. So yeah, I'm going to chuck a few more of these small pieces on here. Keep that going. Got a plane going over. I just saw a little light going over just past the moon over there. Quite often you can see the International Space Station, but it tends to go that way and not the other way. It's still too dark for the camera for the trees, I think. So yeah, we are getting set up. I do have my fire jug with me, as always. Make sure you have water with you. Fire, soak and stir. Always make sure before you light a fire you've got some way of putting it out. I do have tea and everything with me today, so that's rather nice. Plenty of firewood and a toasty warm fire. That has to be good. I'll make the most of that heat. That is good. Right. That is chucking off some good heat, I can tell you. It's not too hot. Yeah, I've just put a couple more of those small little boards on there. Like I say, they burn through fast. Did they chuck off some good heat? Yeah. Get a good pile of embers in there, and then you can get some food on. There's too much flame there at the moment. You can't cook in flames. You don't want flames. You want embers. This stuff makes good embers. That is for sure. be a good way to start the day though. Still got this tickly cough, won't go away. Yeah. Seasonal flu season, I guess, in this part of the world. Pretty much everybody gets it. There ain't a lot you can do about it. Once the sun comes up, I'll be able to see what's what and get some food on. By then I'll have a good bed of coals in the bottom of here. The road out here wasn't too bad. Somebody seriously needs to do something about these LED headlights in cars. Oh my god, they're hideous. Yeah. After I spent, all I saw was people just flashing their lights at people with bloody LED headlights. Those things are insanely bright. But they ain't much good. Bloody expensive if you ever want to change one. Let me tell you, you look up the price of those things. People think they're great. It's the cheapest form of lighting that mankind has ever actually invented. But I can tell you now, it's the most expensive to replace. Yeah. You want to see the price of some of them bloody headlights. Normal halogen bulb, they run probably 15 to 20 bucks depending on what you get. You get those LED lights. Some of those LED lights, just a headlight is $1,800 to $2,000. Yeah, just for a headlight. People think they're great till they got to replace them. That's not quite so great then. Yeah. Right, I will stop rabbiting. I'm going to enjoy this fire, let it die down a little bit. The sun will be coming up here in about an hour, I guess. But, I think the sun comes up at about 8ish today, so whatever. So about an hour, sun should come up. I'll have a good bed of coals in there by then. Yeah. I just put some of that on there. I don't know what that is. That's crackly old wood, that is, isn't it? Oh. Keep an eye on that. Let these flames die down a bit. I don't want the flames too tall. Yeah. Pitch black o'clock. Yeah. Best way to be, that is. Right. Can't see a lot over there. Just about see the trees now. Moon's over there. Moon looks nice behind the trees. I don't know if that'll come out very well on the camera. It might. We shall see. Yeah. World's rotating. Moon's going around. Yeah, all's good. Can't see much over that way. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely some crackly old wood right there. Oh dear, look at that. Yeah, I'll let that die down a touch, I think. Nice and warm, I can tell you. But, I don't know what temperature is this morning. I think it's about 6 or 7. So, which is still on the plus side, so that has to be good. Anything that's on the plus side this time of the year is good. Once we get into the -30s, trust me, +7 will feel like paradise. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly it can change around here too. Ooh, dear. Yeah, there's some crackly old wood on there. I had a couple of little offcuts from some projects and stuff, and that is very crackly. We will keep an eye on that. I don't like that. I'll let that die right down. Yeah. Yeah, that's way too crackly. Right, I'll do some more in a bit. On the menu this morning, as anybody will know me, spicy sausage roll. Need is a chair. There you go. One chair. Oh, that's better. As you get older, it's good to have a chair to sit on. Yeah. found a bird. Not sure what that was. I've let the fire die down a bit at the moment. As you can see, it's pretty much embers in there now, and that's what you want for cooking. You don't want big flames. So the idea is to warm your food through, not burn it. These sausage rolls are great, like I've said in many of my other videos. Ooh, yeah, that's hot. Like I've said in many of my other videos, the idea is when I bring things like pepperonis with me, or sausage rolls, or all those things, they're all pre-cooked. So if I have to eat them cold, if I can't get a fire going, then I still have food. I have a good food source. So the fire is looking decidedly neglected now. So but oh yeah, that's a good. If you can keep your hand there for too long, that's not a good cooking fire. So if you put your hand over there and it's uncomfortable, that's a good fire. I guess if you keep your hands there for like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 seconds, something like that, then yeah, that's kind of anything longer than that, that fire's not really hot enough. Yeah. How hot's that getting? Oh, she's getting there. But be careful not to sit too close to the fire there, because you make your wind break. So, if I sit here, smoke will probably start coming over my way. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's good and hot. Oh yes, that is nice. That is good breakfast right there. Should chuck another bit of wood on there. See, if you watch this stuff, it doesn't burn for long. Burns fast, burns hot. That one's not broken through yet. Oh, that is good. I've got some more of these, so I will do those later. Oh, I'm going to have to watch the wind. They did say the wind might get up today, and if it does, I might have to have a shorter fire. I don't like having campfires when it's really, really hot or really, really windy. So I will do that for now. Enjoy this breakfast, and I'm going to make a cup of tea. Got some fresh cut firewood. Fire's going. Sun's up. Let's warm these up a little touch. Get some of that there. Get those pre-warming. It's good. And if anyone that knows me will know, it's a cup of tea o'clock. So, I haven't done this for a while. Fresh cut firewood, tea's made, nice cup of tea. Doesn't get much better than that, does it? Look at that. We'll have some of that. Feet in front of the fire, nice cup of tea. It says on there, life is better when you're sitting at a campfire. So, yep, can't odds that. That is very true. So I will get this firewood on here in a moment. And enjoy that, that's for sure. Let's get this camera back over here. Apologies for the poor camera angles and all that other good stuff. I've had people comment on me, oh, you should use a tripod all the time. Well, that camera has one of those little tripods. things on it, like a little what do they call it? Mini pod, I think they call it. Yep, came with a camera, little GoPro thing. So we will take that. I'll enjoy my tea, my super cup. Oh dear, that's good. I don't think the wood will split any more than that. There's a big knot down the bottom. These pieces split off it, but this is not a good splitting axe as such. Does the job for this though, that's for sure. I think that probably, yeah, that's all a bit tight in there now, that one. These little axes, they are good, and I've had these. This is my little Fiskars axe. Anybody that's not seen this, I've had this thing for years. I couldn't tell you how much firewood I've split up with this thing, but it's good for the smaller jobs. If you were cutting big logs, you need a decent sized splitting axe or a splitting maul for that. But for what I do, that is absolutely perfect. Doesn't need any better than that. So I'm going to sit here, enjoy my tea. Oh, that's a little bit warm that side. Come around this side, haven't you? Yeah, that's a little warmer in there. A cup of tea o'clock. Just had a bit of breakfast. Just going to let that settle in there a bit, and then I'm going to put some more of these chunks on and do a bit more breakfast later. Got to keep an eye on this wind, like I say. We had a really strong Chinook wind yesterday. We have to be careful because our winds can get very violent very fast, and the last thing I want to do is have embers blowing off it, because this is all dry grass over here. This goes off into a meadow. That's all dry grass over there. So yeah, always be aware of your campfire, be aware of the situation around you. This time of the year, because it's very dry season. Anybody that knows me knows I'd rather be out in the middle of nowhere having a campfire, but it's very dry season. The trees are very dry, the grass is very dry. Once the snow's on the ground, then I can get back out there. But at the moment, we will do this. This stuff, it's garbage wood. It's wood that gets thrown out. We throw out so much of that wood, it's not funny. Yeah. However, I can use it for my little campfires. It gives me something to do. I enjoy coming out and doing my little videos. If people come along, that's great. More than happy to make them. I enjoy making them actually. Yeah. Oh, I do have my ever trusty fire buckets full of water. I do have another couple of litres in the car as well. But always, anytime you're out doing a campfire, as I said in all my videos, once you light a fire, it's your fire, you're responsible for it. So always make sure you've got a way of putting it out, and always make sure you have a nice cup of tea like that. Very important. Yeah. It's a good way to do it though. More people should do this. It's actually good. Yeah. As I say, see how fast this wood burns. Burns in there real fast. It gives off a lot of heat. Gets a good bed of coals going, that's for sure. Like if you're cooking and you put 4 or 5 of those bits of wood in there and just let them burn through, so they're just embers, they turn into embers real fast. Let me tell you, that makes a good cooking fire. Mm. Oh. And that's my first cup of tea. Yeah. I think I shall make some more later. Let's move that back up there. Yep. And this is what I do on the weekends. Actually, most of this summer has been spent clearing trails, clearing deadfall off the trails. So this is my relaxation time. So I am going to sit, enjoy where I'm at, enjoy the campfire, cup of tea. Yes, have to do it, absolutely compulsory. So yeah, you can't come out in the middle of nowhere and not have a nice cup of tea. Have to have it. Yeah. Right. So build up some more embers in the bottom, because I've got another bit of breakfast in there that's bugging me now, because I know it's there, and I just want to get on and eat it. I need some more embers in the bottom for that. I'll let this die down a bit. I can the next bit of breakfast on there. Warm that through. He's still hot. Just split up that log that I had with me. Only a small log, but that little axe, like I say, it's good for splitting up the small stuff. It's good for campfires like this. It's perfect because it fits in the pack, does what I need it to do. If I need to clear off small branches off of like trees, it's perfect for that. Those little old dead, the really thin dead ones, that little hatchet takes those off real fast. It's not super sharp actually. I need to sharpen it up. Yeah. Once I've done this, I can get back to getting a decent fire going. Yeah. It's greying up a touch. Clouds coming from that way, but I can see a bit of clear right on the horizon. So we might have a Chinook flying through. We get Chinook winds here. Despite what Leonardo DiCaprio, or whatever the hell his name was, he came here and he said, oh, it's all global warming and all the rest of it. No, it's actually called a Chinook wind. The guy should do his homework. But yeah, so we can go from -10, -20 to +10 literally in a couple of hours. It can change that fast, and it can also go the other way. So I see people. I'm sitting a bit too close to that at the moment. Yeah, smoke's getting me because I'm sitting too close to the fire. You make a dead space and the smoke comes towards you. If you're building one of those screens, you know, people put them up, they call them heat reflectors. They're not a heat reflector, they don't reflect any heat whatsoever. Complete waste of time for a heat reflector. But I can tell you now, if you stack up your wood like that, it's a good way of drying your firewood for your next lot, because you can just rotate the logs out of there onto the fire. But it does create a windbreak, so it makes the smoke go towards the still air, if you like. It actually works very well. But as a heat reflector, no, that's a bit of a myth. They don't actually do much of that. That chair's a bit close. Move my chair back a bit. There we go. Yep. Yeah, we get the Chinook winds come through. Whew. Smoke gets in your eye then. We get the Chinook winds come through and it can change really, really fast. So it can go from still calm like we are now to hurricane in like nothing. Yeah. So whenever I see people out hiking in the mountains around here, always make sure you got all your gear with you, because it wouldn't be that difficult to actually get stuck out in the middle of nowhere, especially in the winter. Yeah. Not so bad in the summer, but in the winter, never wise. Been out in a few places before now, and you get out there and you think, oh, it's going to be a nice day. So you're out there like 10 kilometers out, wherever, and suddenly the weather changes, and then you've got to walk back 10 kilometers. One of my videos I did, Edworthy Falls I went to, It's very nice up in there, but I got up in there and it literally blew in a blizzard, so I had to walk back probably 7 or 8 kilometers in an absolute blowing blizzard, and I wouldn't even been able to see, I don't know, 50 to 100 feet. That was about as much as I could see, because you're continually doing this, trying to see where you're going, and the wind and the snow. Very easy to get disorientated. But up in there actually isn't too bad, because there was a decent track through there. But if you're out in the middle of nowhere and that blows in, you can be in trouble fast. So one more flip over there, and I think she'll be good to go. And I can build this fire back up. I don't know if you can hear the jays. They know I'm cooking food. Buggers. Oh yeah, that's good. Get my cooking grate off of there. Let that cool down. There we go. Now I can get some wood back on here. Time to build this fire up. That is a pretty neglected fire. For a day fire, that's pretty neglected. Right, let me get this breakfast eaten, then I'll get this fire raging again and warm back up. I did bring my Mora with me today. Anybody knows I love the Mora knives. Bought this with me today. Earlier on in the video, I was shaving up some wood. Now in the dark, you don't want to be splitting wood with an axe or a knife in the dark, because you can't see what you're doing. But you can use it. Let's grab a piece. Like like now, I can see I can just split pieces off there. That's not a problem. But what you can do, if you can get it to go, when it's dark, that's how you split pieces of wood off to get a fire going. Because this, look at that, this thing is insanely sharp. So you can make fire sticks very easy with this. This thing's like a razor blade. See, yes, beautiful edge. Yeah. So if you're doing that in the dark, that's how you do that. Don't you're taking your axe and split wood in the dark, and you've got your thumb here, or whatever, you hit your thumb, that's it. You've now created a bad situation. That's something you don't want to do. So just drop that on there. The other thing I like with this knife is it does have the fire steel on it. It is an excellent knife, as with all the Moras. I like this because it's bright orange. Can't really lose this thing. If I lose this, I'm really in trouble. It does have the fire steel on it. I did put a bit of shock cord on it, and all that is, you know, the hair elastics that women use for their tying their hair up and stuff. That's all that is, hair elastic. Put it on there. Boop. Make sure that can't fall out. You don't want to be losing that if you're out in the middle of nowhere. So, yeah. And my fire is coming along nicely. Right, let's build this fire back up. I had to let it die down because I wanted embers for the cooking breakfast, but now it's fair game. Let's get it going. Right, I'm going to have another cup of tea and just enjoy my campfire. Not really sure what else people need in life, really. I mean, good tea. Life is better around a campfire. A friend of mine got me this. The only thing with this cup and the flask that I have is you get about 2.5 cups out of here. With the cup that comes with it, you get about 4 or 5. So it seems like you get less tea because you only get 2.5 cups, but it's the same amount of tea. Oh, that tastes good. Oh, we'll take that. Cheers, people. That's more like a fire. That's better. and a couple of squirrels, and the jays, of course. As soon as you start even thinking about making food, the jays turn up. Yeah. I see what I mean about these boards. They burn hot, they burn fast. They're good for getting a fire going. They're good for, you chuck a couple of those in there and put some logs on the top, it'll get them going pretty quick. But as you can see, they don't burn for long. Got a plane up there somewhere, going somewhere. That cloud's moving fairly fast, eh? Like I say, if I look off to the west, I can see a gap in the clouds. So once I've burnt through this firewood, I'll see how much daylight I've got left, and I might wander off down some of these trails. But until then, people, I'm going to enjoy my tea. Cheers. Much appreciated. There we go, a little bit. I just put a couple of small boards on there. We've got a bit of a firenado going on in there. Yeah. Look at that. Good grief. Let that burn right down. I just had a couple of really thin pieces that I put on there, and they tend to flare up pretty fast. That's why it's doing that. That'll die down there in a bit. Yeah. Don't need any firenados. Yeah. Not sure who coined that phrase, but it's a very accurate description. Yeah. Right, looks like that's settling down a bit now. That's good.